In September 2019, a voicemail was discovered on a dead woman's phone that changed everything investigators thought they knew about her disappearance. The message was never meant to be found. It was never meant to be heard. And when detectives finally played it back, they realized they weren't just listening to a victim's last words. They were listening to something far more disturbing. This is the story of Sarah Mitchell and the voicemail that revealed the truth. Sarah Mitchell was 28 years old when she vanished from her apartment in Portland, Oregon. She worked as a graphic designer, lived alone, and by all accounts was living a quiet, unremarkable life. She had a small circle of friends, a routine she rarely deviated from, and no known enemies. On September 14th, 2019, Sarah didn't show up for work. Her co-workers tried calling, no answer. They texted, nothing. By the afternoon, her boss contacted her emergency contact, her older sister, Emily, who immediately drove to Sarah's apartment. The door was unlocked. Inside, everything looked normal. Sarah's laptop was open on the coffee table. Her bed was made. Her phone was charging on the kitchen counter, but Sarah was gone. Her purse, her keys, her wallet, all still there. The only thing out of place was a single overturned chair in the living room and a faint dark stain on the hardwood floor near the door. Emily called the police. Detectives arrived within the hour. The apartment was processed as a potential crime scene. The dark stain tested positive for blood, Sarah's blood. But there wasn't much of it, not enough to indicate serious injury. No signs of forced entry, no witnesses, no surveillance footage from the building's broken security camera. It was as if Sarah had simply walked out of her own life. Her phone records showed nothing unusual. The last text she sent was to her sister the night before. Love you, talk tomorrow. Her social media had been inactive for days. Friends and family were interviewed. Everyone said the same thing. Sarah had been acting completely normal, happy even. But then investigators found her phone. It was still plugged in, sitting on the counter where Emily had first seen it. When detectives unlocked it, they discovered something strange. There was one voicemail in her inbox. It had been left at 2:47 a.m. on the night Sarah disappeared. The number it came from? Sarah's own phone. She had called herself. Detective Marcus Hall was the one who pressed play. He would later describe it as the most unsettling thing he'd ever heard in 20 years of police work. The voicemail was 3 minutes and 19 seconds long. At first there was only silence, then breathing, shallow, rapid, panicked. Sarah's voice came through, barely a whisper. If anyone finds this, I need to explain. I need someone to know what really happened. A pause, more breathing. His name is David Kaur. We met online 6 months ago. I thought he was different. He was so kind at first, but then he started showing up at my work, outside my apartment. He'd text me things about what I was wearing, what I was doing, like he was watching. I told him to stop. I blocked him, but he didn't stop. Her voice cracked. 2 weeks ago, he left something in my mailbox. A key. My key. The spare I kept under the mat. He took it. He's been inside my apartment. I know he has. Things are moved. My laptop's been opened. I find his hair on my pillow. Another long pause. In the background, there was a sound, a faint creak, like a door opening. I called the police. They said without proof, there was nothing they could do. I changed my locks. I got cameras. But tonight I heard him. He's inside. I can hear him in the hallway. I'm hiding in the bathroom. I don't know how he got in. I don't know what he's going to do. Her breathing became faster. If something happens to me, please find David Kaur, please. And then the line went dead. The voicemail changed everything. What had been a missing person case was now a potential abduction, or worse. Detectives immediately began searching for David Kaur. They found him within hours. David Kaur, 34, worked in IT and lived just 12 miles from Sarah's apartment. He had no prior criminal record, but when police searched his online activity, they found everything Sarah had described. Months of obsessive messages, photos of Sarah taken from a distance, forum posts where he discussed winning her back after she'd blocked him. But when they went to arrest him, David was calm, too calm. He admitted to messaging Sarah. He admitted to following her. He even admitted to taking the spare key, but he swore he hadn't been in her apartment that night. He said he'd been at home, alone, with no alibi, and crucially, he had an answer for everything. I loved her, he told detectives during interrogation, but I would never hurt her, never. He was arrested and charged with stalking, but without a body, without conclusive evidence of abduction or murder, the charges were limited, and Sarah was still missing. 3 weeks after Sarah's disappearance, hikers found a body in Forest Park, less than 5 miles from her apartment. Cause of death, blunt force trauma to the head. Identification confirmed it was Sarah Mitchell. But here's where the story takes its darkest turn. Forensic analysts examined David Corr's electronics and found something detectives had missed. His phone had been factory reset the morning after Sarah disappeared. But a deep dive into his cloud storage revealed deleted files, including a video recording. The video was timestamped 2:52 a.m., 5 minutes after Sarah left the voicemail. It showed Sarah, alive, sitting on her couch. Across from her sat David. He was talking to her, calmly, rationally, and Sarah, terrified, shaking, was listening. He wasn't violent. He wasn't angry. He was explaining, in meticulous detail, why they belonged together, why she'd been wrong to push him away, why this was all her fault. And then, as the video continued, Sarah stood up to leave. David stood too. The video cut off. Forensic evidence later confirmed David's DNA at the scene of Sarah's body. He was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 30 years in prison. At trial, the voicemail was played for the jury. Several jurors were seen crying. Sarah Mitchell left behind one final message, a desperate plea recorded in her last moments of consciousness, believing she might not survive the night. That voicemail became the key to solving her case. It gave her sister closure. It brought her killer to justice. But it also serves as a reminder, sometimes the most terrifying evidence isn't what we see. It's what we hear, a voice in the dark, a cry for help that came too late. Sarah's story didn't end with silence. It ended with the truth. And that's why her voice still matters. If you or someone you know is experiencing stalking or domestic abuse, please reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline or local authorities. You are not alone.